일본 도쿄 한복판에서 한정 수량의 시계만을 제작하는 브랜드 나오야 히다앤코. GMT 코리아는 이 브랜드를 창립한 인물 나오야 히다 씨를 직접 만나 그가 어떻게 자신의 이름을 건 브랜드를 시작하게 됐는지 그 배경과 철학 그리고 시계에 담긴 이야기를 직접 들어보았습니다.
I'm working for Swiss watch trading company a long time ago, 30 years ago. I have an opportunity to work with many great popular watch maisons such as Audemars and Jaeger-LeCoultre, and Maurice Lacroix in my desk of one shooters past 5 years. And later 10 years I was working with Agna. It's also a Swiss trading company. At the time I was working for many great maisons such as Fashion Constantin, Breguet, Daniel Roth, Iber. And when the big group took over such brands, I tried to find alternative brand. Roger Dubuis, Carlos Diaz and Mr. Dubuis time, and the Harry Winston timepieces, Max Busser time. And luckily, I was involved in some special limited edition project, exclusive for Japanese market. Because at that time, Japanese market is for some brands, it's the biggest market. Therefore, we can make special model. I was involved in the design and the making concept and communicate with the headquarters to create very special pieces. In this experience, it's for me it's a great experience. It also makes me frustrated because I cannot making my ideal piece because it's not my product. Therefore, I feel some frustration. But the experience itself is great enough. Then I was started work with France June from 2004 to 2009. 5 years work with France is great, just amazing. Because at that time no one knows their vision, but I'm also the first founding member, and I started selling and set up the recognition and brand image in Japanese market. And after 5 years work with support, I was joined Richemont. I learned Ralph Lauren, and from Ralph Lauren from Richemont. For me, it's a great experience. But at the same time, I have met in a Richemont time, Ralph Lauren time, I have met with my watchmaker Kosuke Fujita-san, and my engraver Keisuke Kano-san. At that time, Kano-san was working for Tiffany as an engraver. Fujita-san was working for Seiko as a watchmaker. They want to create their product, me too. And then we had a small meeting and we decided to create our own project. And 2012, as a project was started. At that time, Richemont, Seiko, Tiffany doesn't allow us as a side job. Therefore, the project is 100% volunteer. We start to create our product. We spent 6 years to create our first prototype. In 2018, our first prototype was made. Therefore, I quit from Richemont and set up my company. 2012, it's a recognition of Japanese brand such as Grand Seiko and maybe G-Shock and some independent watchmaker like Masahiro Kikuno-san and Hajime Saoka-san. They launched the product and I think maybe it's a turning point. Okay, we can make our original watches and to create our own company. Therefore, I started making our watchmaking project with Kano-san. I was a big fan of vintage watches. When we started project with Kano-san, Fujita-san, we decided to go to a very classic direction with a modern technology and craftsmanship. This is our basic direction. And I set up the size of case, first 37, which is pretty small compared to the watch trend 2012. It's 30 years ago. No one produced 37. Maybe now trend of case sizing is go size down. So maybe some of the brand is launching 37. But at that time, it's pretty new. Also, my style is small size case with a bigger movement. because I love reference 96 made by Patek Philippe in 1932, which is originally case is 30.5 millimeter and movement is 27, which is a very unusual balance. It's a modern watchmaking. I love these balances, therefore I try to making a small size case with a bigger movement. But what a movement? I want to create a bigger size movement, as I told you, but we have three choices to making original movement from the scratch. That's very ideal, but we lack of experience, also the budget, also it takes time, long time. Therefore, we quit. Second choice is based on vintage movement. Purchase a vintage movement from Switzerland and modify it. I think it's very interesting idea. I still love it, this idea. But we want to be something like a small watch company, not like an independent watch maker. We want to create several volume. But from after sales service point of view, it's not suitable. Then we choose a third way, which is purchase a modern movement from Switzerland and heavily modify. We study many movements, including a Japanese movement. But at that time, very difficult to find manual winding base movement. Or we're struggling, and one day Fujita-san, my watchmaker, gave me a great idea. Why don't we create the manual winding based on Barju 7750? Barju 7750 is a very well-known self-winding chronograph. It's a very tough, it's a workhorse movement. But it's self-winding and chronograph. Personally, the feeling when you rewinding the movement by crown, I'm not big fan of this feeling. I asked to Fujita-san, how did you manage? Okay, no problem. We can remove the chronograph function and the self-winding function, and we can making special bridges by ourselves, making a very crisp and bold feeling for manual winding. Oh, that's great. When I hear this idea, I immediately imagine the vintage manual winding chronometer list, which is made by Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet in 1950 and 60. The original idea made by Patek and Audemars is they using a Barju 23. It's a vintage chronograph, manual winding chronograph. They take out all the chronograph components and transform to a beautiful manual winding movement. Small second at the 9. I like this idea. Okay, go ahead. And then we try to create our original movement based on Barju 7750. The size of the movement is 30mm. It's a perfect suit for our 37mm case. And then 2019, as you told me, we launched our first commercial piece named the Type 1B.